So I went to this meeting. I told these three executives the story of my relationship with my dad. Why? Because the script, when I read it initially, was so moving to me, because the character played by Richard Gere is so lost in grief after his beloved young wife dies. And a lot of what the texture of it was reminiscent to me of what I felt after my dad's death. He was my best friend. And to me, this film was a great film in its own right. It deserved to get made, and more importantly, it would be a private homage to my dad. And so I cared deeply about it. So I went into this meeting with three people who'd read it and said nice things about it, but passed on it. And so I felt the door was open just a little bit. And I never referenced the script. I never talked about the title. I just simply told him the story of my dad. I told him who my dad was. I told him about our friendship and our relationship and the love that we had, and what it was like when, unexpectedly, never having been sick, he just passed away, and what that was to my family and to me. And I just spent, not long, 12 minutes, 10 minutes telling him this story, at the end of which I simply said, I cannot imagine anyone, filmmaker, actor, audience, doesn't matter, who will not be moved. We're wired, whether we lost someone or not, we're wired to understand the tragedy and despair of losing someone so close to you. And they huddled and they changed their mind. Bottom line, they changed their mind. And we got to make this film. And it's a great film. It wasn't as big as Pretty Woman, but it was well received, and it actually become more popular over the years. And I'm very proud of the film, but in a way, as a learning lesson, it's like, you know, we talked earlier about never take no for an answer. And I think what I came away from that was, if you are, you know, if you're ballsy enough, if you're bold and courageous enough, just to, it's like, get naked in public. If you're willing to get naked in public, people are impressed, right? Because we all know about vibration and frequency, and if you're like, you know, when you're deeply moved and you're in that very deeply authentic place, and there's no BS, we know it, it's real. That's very attractive to us, and that's what we want to put on a big screen. And that's what they got. They got why this is going to move the audience and therefore potentially be a success. And the film was successful as a business matter, but that's not, you know, I don't measure it in those terms. I just think, how do I get a yes from these people so I can do what I so desperately want to do as a creative person? And the only thing I could do is tell the truth. And it worked.